The U.S. Securities Exchange Commission says the Trump administration plans to end building leases for SEC regional offices in Los Angeles and Philadelphia. What are the message they're sending? Is the stock market going to go down? I think so. Are they going to allow it to come back and allow all this Keynesian fractional reserve and slicing and dicing of your stock certificates? Because you know what? You don't even own the stock certificates because you don't have a stock certificate with a CUSIP number on it. CUSIP, CUSIP number. I was one of the guys that did this as ING. We were told to have our clients bring in their stock certificates and we would put them in a street account, which we did. However, when we put them in a street account, you forever lost that paper stock certificate, which was your unique sign of ownership. So that unique sign of ownership had something on it called a CUSIP number, as we showed a couple of times here before. You see the CUSIP number here? So you lost all this beautiful artwork and everything. And you know who owns it now? People that own it now are the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, the DTCC. And they are the chain of command went from me to my back office, which was ING Financial Partners, and they turned it over to their back office, which was ComputerShare. How many people have you heard about ComputerShare? Take a look at your statements. If you see ComputerShare on there, you're going to find out that they're based out of Australia. Now, why is the communication going from New York all the way to Australia? This isn't right, folks. I'm telling you, the people that own your stocks are not you. That's why they can trade so many shares of stock on the exchange. None of us know about anything about it because they're not sharing. They're not trading your shares of stock and mine. They're sharing made up shares of stock. So when it comes time for you to try to get your money out, good luck. When the redemptions exceed the new money coming in, that's when the whole thing comes down. We've shown you here on the M2 money supply that there's less than 3% of the cash available to be able to cash out all the things that you think have value to it. So it's only less than 3% of you going to be able to cash out what you think is value and turn it into coin of the realm. Exit the dollar system, folks, while you still can. Let's keep moving, folks. Time is of the essence. Now is the time to exit the system, exit the Federal Reserve System, exit the current banking system that we have. It's all owned by one company, the Bank for International Settlements. Let's go back to God's money. Let's exit the casino. Let's hold the coin of the realm. More specifically, the dimes are the most intelligent way to hold the coin of the realm right now. They're the cheapest and most divisible. Go figure that one. Typically, if you're going to buy a small division of gold, like an American Gold Eagle, quarter ounce or half ounce, you're going to pay a lot of money for that. But you know what? With dimes, you're paying less than what you're going to be paying for a larger piece of silver, like a $1 piece or an American Silver Eagle. You're paying less per ounce with 14 dimes than you are with one American Silver Eagle, yet they both weigh 1 troy ounce of pure silver. We have so much stuff planned, it's going to shock you. We're going to have so much fun together. You guys get the dimes. I'll take care of the rest of the stuff. Let's continue to moving forward. Trump loosens restrictions on airstrikes, special ops raids. President Trump has eased restrictions on U.S. airstrikes and special operations raids in areas outside countries officially considered combat zones by the U.S., giving U.S. military commanders the freedom to launch attacks without permission from the White House. The order reverts back to the policy of the first Trump administration, doing away with restrictions President Biden added to U.S. drone strikes and raids outside of Iraq and Syria, the only two countries the U.S. officially considers combat zones. First publicly released footage shows secretive bladed Hellfire missile eliminating terrorists. U.S. Central Command released the first ever public footage of a bladed AGM-114R9X Hellfire missile eliminating a senior leader of the Al-Qaeda affiliated group Hamas Derdurin in Syria last month. And there's a little bit about how it works. Basically, there's a lot of rotating razor blades. Watch. Remember how many months Biden's officials spent telling you Israel wasn't deliberately not blocking aid to Gaza? Yet somehow Israel can turn the switch off and on whenever they choose. This is an open public declaration of the intent to commit a war crime. With the conclusion of the first stage of the hostages deal, and in light of Hamas' refusal to accept the Witkoff framework from the continuation of talks to which Israel agreed, Prime Minister Netanyahu decided, as of this morning, entry of all goods and supplies to Gaza Strip will be halted. Israel blocks all humanitarian aid to Gaza as ceasefire could collapse. Regional Mideast sources are widely reporting that Israel's military has halted the entry of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip at a moment tens of thousands of Palestinians continue returning to their homes, especially in the war-ravaged north. Phase 1 of the fragile ceasefire agreement has ended, but some Israeli hostages still remain captive in the Strip, and there is as yet no word that the sides have come to an agreement on the Phase 2 of the plan. Currently, there are talk of simply extending Phase 1, and the guns have remained silent so far. But that may change given the cessation of food, medicine, and water shipments to the Strip. Both sides continue making threats, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has signaled the air and ground war could soon resume. Palestinians are accusing Israel of seeking to change the terms and framework of the ceasefire. Netanyahu's office on Saturday said the entry of all goods and supplies to the Gaza Strip will be halted, warning that this is due to Hamas rejecting the continuation of peace talks proposed by the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Israel will not allow a ceasefire without a release of our hostages, the statement said. If Hamas persists in its refusal, there will be additional consequences. The first phase of the agreement officially ended on Saturday, but Al Jazeera reports that Netanyahu's office said Israel has agreed to a proposal by Witkoff to extend the first phase of the ceasefire for 6 weeks during Ramadan, the Muslim holy month that began over the weekend, and Jewish Passover holiday, which ends on April 20th. Israel threatens a second Nakba, yet denies the first ever even happened. Israel denies carrying out the 1948 Nakba of Palestinians, even as it calls for carrying out a second Nakba today, a form of war, folks. Israel Zarif resigns amid political wrangling over economic woes. A former foreign minister, he was in the face of reformist-backed negotiations with global powers that led to Iran back in the 2015 nuclear deal. Thousands evacuated from Japan's biggest fire in decades continues to burn. Folks, we're not going back to a gold standard. We're going back to a silver standard, which is the way it was until 1783, which is when we went from the silver standard to a bimetal standard. We went on a bimetal standard, silver and gold, for a period of maybe about 20, 30 years. And then the really wealthy people said, no, we don't want the silver people around anymore. So they concentrated all the wealth into the gold. And the people that were holding the silver were left high and dry. So now it's coming full circle. We're going back to a silver standard. That's what I've been telling you. You're going to find silver and gold going 1-to-1. So if any of you got any gold out there right now, you can get 80, 90 ounces of silver for it. Go out and do that. Then when it goes 1-to-1, go back and get your gold back. That's what I'm going to do. You want to go with me? We'll have a lot of fun together. Weekend. So if you know anybody that needs some help getting out of digits and getting into dimes, please ask them to give me a call, 443-340-8438. I'll help them understand the logic behind all this. It doesn't really matter where they get the dimes from. They can get them from Golden Eagle, they're going to be locally, wherever. The bottom line is we're putting damage on the whole system right now. That's the idea. It doesn't matter where you get the diamonds. It's going to be the dimes. But because the bottom line is we need to wipe out, we need to stop, and we need to force the failure to deliver. That will, in fact, allow the metals to skyrocket. We should have aimed for the dimes first, then the quarters, but you guys got distracted because the coin salespeople wanted to turn it into people that were interested in collecting coins, or as cheaply as possible. Sometimes it's better off just to pay a little bit more. But we found out through JT's report that the dimes are actually cheaper than 1,000-ounce bars of silver. So on a per ounce basis, where you get 14 ounces or 14 dimes per 1 ounce, with a 1,000-ounce bar, you get one transaction. With a bag of dimes, 1,000 face of dimes, guess what? You're going to get 14,000 transactions. But anyway, we have a lot of fun. We get together with Barry, but I'm just trying to make you guys aware that a whole lot of property values are going to start going south, especially in these areas where people are relying on our government subsidies to employ these people at outrageous salaries. A lot of this is going to start coming down, folks. As a result, we're going to find newly built homes are getting much smaller because the builders are aware of this. They have economists working for them, just like you have an economist working for you right now. But you didn't know that, though, did you? Yes, I am working for you. I am an MIT-trained Austrian monetary economist, and I'm working for you for free, as well as a certified financial planner, certified estate planner, out here giving you all the information that I have to try to help you guys. I want to make friends with you at the top of the ladder. Nobody's taking advantage of you out here. Not a chance. It's not going to happen if you're listening to this channel here. We want you to take whatever digit you have and get the coin of the realm. The coin of the realm in the United States of America just happens to be dimes is the best way to go. Now, other coins of the realm in the U.S. are pre-65 dimes, quarters, half dollars, eagles, both gold and silver. Sort of make a lullaby out of that. But right now, the most fungible, the most useful form of money in the United States are the dimes, and by far they're the least expensive. Isn't that amazing? Typically, if you're going to get smaller denominations of a coin, are you going to pay more and more for it? Like, take a look at what does 1 ounce gold coin cost? What does a half ounce gold coin? What does 10,000 quarter ounce gold coin cost? They all cost more. Okay, so the smaller you get, typically the more you pay. The dimes are completely upside down. I don't know whether or not there's some kind of pricing mismatch trying to encourage you guys to get it. Maybe it's out there to just wake up the guys that are really smart and say, hey, there's something going on here. We ought to be moving our digits over here. And if you guys have money and insurance products and stuff like that, they're only redeemable into dollars. As the dollars dies, what's going to be redeemable into? Folks, I'm sitting here watching the stock market go down, and this is what we're looking at right now. And we're looking at this as a percentage of the drop here, okay? Now, we talked about if you had a portfolio in the stock market and you lost 20%, what percentage return do you need the following year simply to get back to where you were as far as the number was concerned? But then you have to factor in inflation, the year that took to go down, and the year, if you're lucky, to get it to go back up. So, folks, more importantly right now is hold on to your purchasing power. Don't try to make more of it right now. What you want to be doing is hold on to what you have. Don't be like the big bulldog that's crossing a bridge, looks down in the water, sees a reflection of itself after having a bone in its mouth, barks and loses the bone in the water. We don't want that to happen to you. Hold on to the dimes. Come on out here and have a lot of fun. This is the group you want to connect with, folks, if you're stacking dimes. Now, the other thing, too, is the place where you're stacking the dimes needs to be handled properly as well. We're going to get into estate planning, but, folks, you need to get your TED-Ed starter kit in order for me to help you with that. I give you all the kind of advice. I put my arm out here and help you as much as you need. But as far as estate planning is concerned, that's my wheelhouse, and that's where we're going to draw the line. I give you all kinds of free information. But, folks, as far as the estate planning is concerned, we're going to help you with that. We want to make sure it's done right. But we do want you to come along for the ride with the TED-Ed Club.